Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will learn how to move SYSVOL folder from existing drive to any other drive. So you can see that is only my server. It is not ready yet. So we will promote it as a domain controller first. And there are some prerequisites to promote that as well. So we can see here ncpa.cpl. We can come here, we can just uncheck this IP version 6 because it is not used mostly. And we can go to IP version 4, come here, and we will set the desired IP. Please remember that whenever we are adding IP or mentioning IP to any computer, we should not mention anything in the production because we are not sure which IP is being used at which place. So it is good idea to get the IP address from the designated network team. They will not only provide you the IP address, they will also provide you the IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway. But preferred DNS must be selected by the Active Directory team who is responsible for managing the DNS. So I have already selected this because this is my test environment, and we have or we have renamed the computer as well. So you can choose the name that you want to and rename and reboot this. So computers should not be renamed whatever you're thinking because the every company is having a standard procedure to rename their or keep their computer's name as per standard. It is not mandatory, but I mostly disable IP version 6 by using a registry. So you can come here. Here in the bottom you can see I'm here SK local machine system current control set services TCP/IP version 6 parameter. Under the parameter I created this value. If you are new, no problem. You can just what I did, I just copy this like this and see D word value and I modify by using this 255 and that it will end with something like that 0x 0ff something. And one more important thing is we should disable firewall or enable the required ports that we are having. How we can see what the status of firewall? Firewall.cpl you can type. Oh sorry, firewall.cpl. Here we can see this is the state of firewall. I do not recommend to stop the firewall, but we are having hardware level firewall, so we can disable them. That is not an issue. But you should talk to or take the approval from security team before doing this. Next is we should set the password for each and every administrator that computer is having. So what you can do, you can go to computer management and local users group and come here users and you can see these are the 4 users here, but you can also see who is the administrator is. So I can see administrator only admin and administrator. So I am only responsible to or main concern to reset the password for these account. So password of this account is already set and I can set the password for this account from here. Give any meaningful password or strong password as well with complexity. Now it is done and we can add one role. I have already added, so I just selected this Active Directory Domain Service and this DNS server. So any doubt till now?
Okay.
So any doubt?
No,
Oh
sir.
no.
Fine, eh? So it is simple, right? We just need to remember all these things. Okay,
Yes.
once we can come here, notification area. and see that is showing promote this server to the domain controller. So we can select this, add a new forest. We can give any name. Okay, we will give same dot. Just try to give any name that is not routable over the internet. Otherwise, it can create the problem. Don't use .com, .org something. Use .lan, .intra, .local something. Okay, next. Just trying to check whether name is unique or not. Okay. Now we can select forest function level and domain function level. You can choose up to 2012 R2 from 2008. So you will be thinking, what is this? Actually, it is allowing us to use the functionality of the server. For example, if you see Active Directory Recycle bin, right? So Active Directory Recycle bin is only available if your forest function level is 2008 R2. And we can also see, or you might have heard, fine-grained password policy. So we can use fine-grained password policy if we have the domain function level is 2008. So these are some information that we need to do. And you can see read-only domain controller RODC. It is not highlighted because we cannot create our first domain controller as a read-only domain controller. Here we can see forest function and domain function level. Here we can see the password. We can enter one password and keep this at a safe place because it is very critical password for your Active Directory. Are you aware what is the DSRM? Any one of them?
No, sir. Can you please explain what is DSRM password?
So DSRM is Directory Service Restore Mode password. Directory Service Restore Mode. It is required whenever you are performing any Active Directory relative activity. For example, someone deleted one organization unit and then you want to restore this particular organization unit because that your organization unit was having some users or some other important groups on computers. So for this, you cannot perform that activity in the normal mode that we are logged in. So for performing this activity, you need to restart your computer in a Active Directory restore mode. And for logging to that particular mode, you require your DSRM password. If you are not having DSRM password, you are having internal knowledge, that is not useful because you should have to use that particular password to log in the particular mode. So that is also big topic in Active Directory, how to perform that uh, organizing unit restore, that is called authoritative restore of Active Directory. You can restore particular organization unit, and I have created another video. You can watch that as well if you want to. So now we are good to go. Here we can just start. Next, let me see if I can remember properly MS config. Okay, here you can see that is system configuration. Here we can see system is showing normal mode, right? But if you want to log into restore mode, then you will have to select this and you will have to select this active directory repair mode option so that you can perform any active directory related activity in the active directory repair mode, that is also called safe mode under active directory repair mode. So, but remember, once you have done your activity, remove that box and restart your computer. Otherwise, you will again in the repair mode. Okay. So now here we can see by default it is asking or giving or providing, I would say, location to restore your or keep your database log file and SYSVOL folder. So entire active database will be kept here and logs will be also kept under this and SYSVOL folder will also kept here. You can also change the folder if you want to, but generally people do not change, they keep the same. But it is not mandatory that you are going to keep the same thing. You can choose any location for any domain controller. But it is good idea to always keep the same things to make some uniqueness so that everyone can see where your Active Directory database is and where your sysvol folder is. But it is not mandatory, I would say, but good practice to have. And I also wanted to tell you one thing here. This directory service restore password is not replicated from one domain controller to another domain controller. Every domain controller can have a different DSRM password and that is not expired as well. But it is always good idea to keep the same password, otherwise you will forget which password was set on which domain controller. If you are having multi-domain controller, then it will be confusion. So keep the same password on all the domain controllers and keep at uh, safe place so that only limited or designated people can have the access of the particular DSRM password. And I also tell you one more thing is if you are not aware what the DSRM password is, you can change this in the normal mode of your Active Directory and keep that somewhere else. And you can also test if you want to whether your DSRM password is working or not. I'm not asking you to perform any activity by using that, but you can simply verify by logging that yes, you can log in if required in any time. Just you need to set your computer or EMS config in the this mode uh, and reboot. And at that time, username will be administrator and Active Directory will not be accessible. So you can just put something like that. You have seen we are putting like that like this in the MSTSC we are doing something and the password. So now it is checking prerequisites. Once it finds each and everything is fine, that's it will ask us to install the Active Directory on this domain controller. So any question till now, anything that you want to know, guys?
Yes, sir. Like uh, in path option, you have said that uh, I have a question here that for all domain controllers, will it be the same path?
No, it is not necessary. You can suppose you have four domain controller A server 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the server 0, 1, you can change the path to C drive, and server 2 E drive, F or 3 F drive, and server 4 H drive. So it is not mandatory from the Microsoft side that you need to keep the database of your all domain controllers. at the same location, it is not necessary. You have the choice wherever you want to save your logs, database, entities database, or the SYSVOL folder. So there is no limitation. You can choose anywhere, but but there is one more thing important. If you are thinking, I want to keep the in the my SYSVOL folder or entity database in the D drive, so you must have one drive here, right? Otherwise, you will not be able to do so.
Okay.
Drive is mandatory. So, did I do anything? Oh, I closed by mistake. Okay, so we will do it quickly. Mm, sure,
Shiva.lan.
okay. Name you can choose anything, but it should be not mandatory, I would say, but it is good idea to use non-routable domain.
Okay.
Routable domains we need to purchase from the service provider like GoDaddy, and those are
Messenger
paid.
of Budari,
Um, there are so many other vendors.
service provider. Ah,
Mm,
yes.
okay, so we will quickly change this. Okay, so it is enough for me. I don't want to. Okay, okay. It will choose the netwise name automatically, or if you want, you can change as well. But I do not want to change. Here, if you want, you can just change it anywhere, anything, C, D, E. But I want to keep it here because I want to do the same thing or move the sysvol folder by using another way. So it is always good idea to check your forest function level and domain function level wisely because it can create some problem. For example, so here we are good. Here you can see all prerequisites check, pass, credit, click, install, checking in each everything. So for example, if you want to bring 2019 in your existing environment, right? And so 2019 server do not support FRS, File Replication Service. And server from 2000 to 2016 can also support the FRS. But if you see server 2000 2003 do not support DFSR, but there is a combination where we can say from 2008 or to 2008 to 2016 all operating system can support FRS to DFSR whatever you want to. But again depending on the condition from where you started. So I also created one video how to migrate 2003 to 2019. You can watch that as well to understand better. So now it is going to restart. You will not do anything. It will restart automatically. So server has been promoted as a domain controller, and here we can see Active Directory users and computers, and here we can see some users and group, default users and group, and we can see our domain controller has been moved to here automatically. That is empty because we are not having anything, and not necessary, but good to have. We can just change the IP here again because it has been set to loopback IP address 192.168.1.100. Please note that if you are working on any domain controller or any server uh, hosted in Azure specifically, I'm not sure about AWS, but if your server is hosted in Azure, please do not change the IP address from here. IP address, different mask or DNS address must be changed from the Azure portal by the Wintel team. And if you modify something here, definitely you are going to lose the access of your server. So do not touch anything here. If you want to get it modified something as per your requirement, connect with your Intel team, dedicated Intel team, and ask them to modify something that you want to, like IP address or DNS something. Do not touch from here. But once they change from there, you come here and you can see what IP address subnet mask has been changed. So you can also see, you can see what is the correct configuration, but you are not supposed to change that IP address or any IP related configuration. And if you're not, if you want, you can just come here. You can also check from here what the IP address and some other uh, addresses, different network IP address, subnet mask gateway, or DNS servers. You can check all these things, and you also need to firewall.cpa need to disable your firewall as well. Once you change your domain controller or when you sorry when you promote your server as domain controller or add any server or workstation as domain controller, one more firewall is also added that is called domain network side domain firewall. Okay. Earlier you see we were only having private and public firewall, but now domain firewall has been added as well. So we need to remember and disable this as well. Or as I said, you need to open all the ports, Active Directory ports bidirectional. Microsoft has clearly defined what ports are required. So you can just share those ports number to the firewall team and they will open, or you can just open them here as well if you are keeping your firewall enabled. Okay. And now NS lookup. If you do NS lookup of your computer INDETC01. So here you're seeing server name unknown and request timeout is 2 seconds. So what we can do for this, we can come here, come in the DNS, okay, come in reservoir lookup zone, select all these things. Here you need to type first 3 octet of your IP address. So my IP address is 192.168.1. Okay, next. Here we can just click pointer and we type fourth octet remaining one, whatever it is, and browse and go to the hosted record of your DNS server or domain controller. Select this. Here you can see one pointer record. This pointer record is now mostly not required because it is not helping. But there are some devices I can see or I can recall they require pointer recorder as well, but most of the time devices are not required because it is telling you which to which server or computer that IP address has been assigned to. But actual work of your DNS is just translate the domain name or name to the IP address. So if I say here, see now we are saying server name this one, and if you do the NS go to your IP address 192.168.1.100 and you will see to which computer that IP address has been assigned to. This is the main benefit as I can understand. So till now we are good. Now you can see, come here, if you type net share, then you will see your SYSVOL folder is under this location, right? C window SYSVOL. So now we will try to move this from here to another drive. So it is not mandatory exercise, but sometimes there are some situation our drive is full, it is not having enough space, so we want to move this SysVol folder from here to any other location. There are multiple ways to do so. If you have option to increase the space of that drive, you should increase that, but sometimes we are not having. So in this case, we can just add another drive to the server and move that SysVol folder from C to any other drive like D or E. Or we can also use third option. We can add additional domain controller in the domain and make some necessary changes like all the transfer, move all the FSMO roles and other things as well, and demote your another domain controller where you are facing some issue or having less space in the C drive. For example, this one, INDEDC one. So as a third option, what I can do, I can add one more server as domain controller like INDEDC02 and move all the roles and other things and see that there is no issue. We can also rename that server later and rename the IP address as well, and we can remote this particular domain controller. Then again we will get the same thing that we were looking for. So if you are having single domain controller, so it is always good idea to take the backup of your domain controller. So what you can do, uh, first we need to see how many drives we are attached with this server. I think we added one. Here we can come. We are not, we are having only single one. So what we can do, we can come here and it is 40. So just avoid any confusion. We will add another drive with some different space. Select this hard disk, select this, create new. Here we can see 050, okay 50, and we can select this, store a virtual disk. That is not required, but sometimes it also creates the problem. People keep on assigning this drive, and later on they understand, okay, that is not enough space in the drive. So things are good and bad as well every time. And we will add one more drive. Okay, 60 is fine. So now you will be thinking, what is the meaning of that? Let me show you. Okay, hard disk. You selected required space. That is also not mandatory. You can just select that. So there is a meaning of this particular allocate all disk space now. Meaning If you are selecting 60 GB or 80 GB, so from where it is getting that particular space, a space will be assigned immediately from your storage. But if you do not select this box, store storage will be assigned on the basis of requirement. Suppose now it is only need 10 GB, so it will only take 10 GB from the storage. If again it require 5 GB more, then it will take 5 GB from the storage instead of taking 60 GB in a one go. Understood, guys?
Ask.
Yes, sir.
Any confusion till now?
No.
Very good. So we are not going to end. So it is already ready. Just want to show you. Now we are in computer management. Here we can see we cannot use this until we perform this activity. We have added, but it is not ready yet. So what we can do, we can come here online. We can also make it online. Here we need to initialize. So it is initialize both at a once. Okay. Now we say new simple volume. Next. Next. You can select the letter here. E, F, G, whatever you want to. So we will see E. And here you can change the name as well. If you want to, it's not mandatory, but say okay, we will say okay, SYSVOL. This is just name, it is not SYSVOL. It is not doing anything. Select this, perform a quick format. Okay, there is one more drive here. Here you can check F, or here you can say you want to take use this for BMR backup, bare metal recovery, or any other name you can give. So now if we come here, we will see we are having three different drives. Okay, it is primary. Here, this drive I will use for moving my SYSVOL folder. It is actually not moving directly. It is just copying from here to here. And this is the file that I'm going to use for backup. Sorry, drive I'm going to use for backup. And if you're new, how to take backup, no problem. Just come here, come. So here you can select Windows Server Backup, which is the feature. Next, it is done. So you can see here, there are two things, right? Roles and features. Can anyone tell me what is the difference or how you can just simply differentiate roles and feature? Any one of them or any one of you? So you were saying something, Monique.
Yes, sir. So I was saying differentiate between roles and features. So roles are services that roles are services that the server provides to another computer on the network, like DNS, DHCP, or Active Directory. And features are tools or components that are used by the server itself to support or improve those roles. In short, we can say roles. In short, for we can say for roles, server's main service is.
So let me tell you. So roles means server is hosting that particular role, but other people are using or
Using them.
other servers are using that service. For example, DHCP server. We are creating DHCP server so that we can assign dynamic IP address to our clients, workstation or computers and printers. But my DHCP server will not get the IP address from its own DHCP server. Okay, so same way we can say we are having some feature as well. So who wants to explain about like failover clustering something?
Yeah. Yeah, Manish. So failure clustering is like it's a way to make sure that our services will keep on running or active. If one server fails, we can use another server uh, to use our services.
Can you give an example?
Like if we have two or more servers working together, and if one server goes down, another one automatically takes over so that we don't get any interruption.
Okay. And anything that anyone wants to say something?
Yeah, like telnet is also the future. Like the telnet, the future, like the particular ports are open from particular computer node to check those things. The telnet will work. Huh?
Okay, so as he said, telnet we can use to just check whether connectivity is having or not. So if we say telnet here, TELNE telnet, and we see google.com, it is saying telnet is not required as an internal or external command. So what we can do for this, we can just select that telnet client. Okay, so if we run the same now, then we can see it is now not giving the error. Okay, so let's move to the our main agenda. Did we install that role or not? Okay, Windows Server Backup is installed. So we can come here and we can come here in the bottom. You can see Windows Server Backup. Here, what is saying? Okay. So no backup has been configured for this computer. So what we can do, we have multiple options, recover, backup once, and backup schedule. So once we are only want to just backup once. But remember one thing, you cannot schedule two backups separately. So if you want to set up two backups, you can use one use by using your task scheduler something, and second one you can use from here. So you cannot use two type of backup or same type of backup twice when you are doing schedule. So there are multiple options what you want to select. So I just want to go custom, select add item. Here you can select whatever you want to. Suppose I want to select system state, I will select this box only. If I say I want to select bare metal, I will select first option, and whatever it is selecting, please do not modify anything. If your data SYSVOL folder or entities database, meaning Active Directory database is available any other drive like F or G or E, it will select that automatically. So you are once you just need to know what you are going to do for bare metal, select this option, and whatever being selected automatically after that, do not modify anything. Otherwise, you are not going to select the correct backup. Okay. Next, here we can select the drive where you want to or your network path. I want to keep my backup here, so it will not take more time because it is having less space, uh, less database in my drive. So meanwhile, what we can do, we can just prepare ourselves for some command that we want to run. We will not run, just preparing, right? So first of all, we once our backup is done, we need to stop our service. So for this, we are having command stop hyphen service, stop hyphen service, stop hyphen service, space hyphen name. That is the name of your service that you want to stop. So name is DFSR. Okay. So it is not necessary that you are going to use PowerShell to stop this. You can come here. You can come here. Okay. Services. Here we can come down DFS replication. Okay. And if you go here, you will see the short name, service name. And you can just select this stop button. So there are two options to choose from. Whether you can just run the PowerShell command or come here and stop. Okay. Second thing is we need to move our SYSVOL folder from current location to another drive that we have already decided, and we have already added that particular drive here. So what you can do, first you need to know where your current SYSVOL folder is. If you are not sure where it is, I think you already checked that. Net, sorry, net share. Okay, it is in C. Here it will show your shared name. It is your shared name. Okay, here you can see that is the shared name, and it is showing where that particular shared folder is. Okay, so you get this information. On the top, you can see here share name, resources, and or remark. So if you are not sure of where your SYSVOL folder, where your any other shared folder is, you can just, it is not only for SYSVOL folder, you can run this command to see each and every share folder in your server and their location under resources. And that is not the only space to check. You can come here, go to computer management and come here, shared folder, and you will see shares. Same thing you are getting here as well. Okay. So multiple ways to check multiple things. And you can also see if you here, it will show you which file is open. Suppose there is one file that is created here and someone is using it on the network, and you can see and come here and see which file is open and who is using. Are you aware about that? Hello? No?
No,
Say,
no.
No.
okay. So now we can see it is completed. We can just close and we, okay, see Windows, SysVol. Okay. Here you can see we are having a SysVol folder. Have only two group policies. Let me show you one more thing. Just if you create one more group policy, it will be listed here, not going anywhere. Group policy management. Okay, okay. So we can come here. Group policy object. Give any name like wallpaper. PAPER. Okay, we did not do anything right. Just creating one more policy and with the name of wallpaper. And you refresh it, right? You see three. Magic, no? Yes, everything there. So we created this just now, 6:33, showing time as well. That is UID of your policy. Here we can see machine user GPT. Okay, so just to make it simple, what will I do? I will create two folder. One I will create Windows, and under the Windows I will create the SYSVOL folder. Just to So now we will perform some actual activities to move the SYSVOL folder from existing location to any other drive. So these are some common steps or main steps that we are going to perform. We will stop DFS service, move the file from one location to another location, change some registry path, and change something in the DFS. I decided start DFS or service. If everything goes well, we are fine. Otherwise, what we are going to do, this command icacl will export the permissions from sysvol folder, and we will restore the same permissions to this location. This will be the new location of my sysvol. That is not correct one, but I will change and I will show you. And I will try to create another video on this, how to use this, how to get the permission, how to export the permission, and how to import the permission. That is good because one time when I was working for one another big MNC, we lost all the permissions due to some reason, and we restore the permissions from the backup. We did not restore the backup, we only restore the permissions because we were having the backup, but that was not having the correct permissions. So that is another topic. Okay, so now we have already added one drive E, and my sysvol folder is under C Windows Sysvol. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to create this folder. This just to make the simple, yes, Windows and Sysvol. I can type as well, but I want to do in this way. Okay, we have created folder same because it will be easy to rename in the registry and the ADSI edit. Now we need to stop the DFSR service. DFSR. Okay, this one. I can stop. Okay. Now what I am going to do, I'm just going to move PowerShell. Okay, copy. That is fine, right? See Windows is full. Now it is E Windows is full. That is my current location, and here I want to move, right? Okay, it is done. Now you can see something will be here. Same thing. Hmm? Till now we are good. Here we are going to type regedit. Regedit. Here we need to find out net logon. This one parameter. In the bottom you can see where we are. Edge computer, edge key, local machine, system current control set, services, net logon and parameters. So you need to come in the same way here. Here you can see SYSVOL. So just need to replace C with E because this is my new drive. E Windows SYSVOL. Okay. This is the only thing that I need to change here. Now we need to change these two paths. We can find them here. regedit. Not DT. Okay. ADSI edit.msc. Okay. Connect to keep the default naming context. Okay. Shiva domain controller. If you are having multiple domain controller, please remember you are going to select the same domain controller where you are performing this exercise. Okay, so I'm only having single one and I'm going to do this here. You can select here, or we are also having one more option if you want to. dsa.msc, and remember to select this user contacts advanced feature domain controllers. Okay, mhdfsr root path. We will keep this as it is. Okay, this will remain unchanged. This will also remain unchanged. Here you need to just replace C to E and this one as well. Either you can just select ADS edit or from the Active Directory. Depends up to you what you want to do. Now we can just start this service again and we see if we are having any error or not in the event viewer. We can come here. Oh, we are having this one. And we can come. Okay, for this we need to perform a authoritative restore. Again we will stop this service. Again we will go in Active Directory. Select this to false and this will be 1. Let's see. 4114. What is saying? Okay. Okay. So many things need to. Let's try with this. MS default option is true. Let's see what error we are getting. Again, we get this error. Let's open this. What we are getting. The system path find system cannot find the path specified. Okay, what happened to path? We can run these commands in the C drive. For successive proceed 0, what is wrong? Okay, okay, notepad. Or we can just try to come a C Windows SYSVOL E Windows. Here I need to type Windows because that is there. What is say? C C. Let's see if we have that file here. Okay, we are having this file which is having permission, exported permission. What is saying? Failed processing 0 file. Successfully processed 0 files and what is wrong? What I'm saying? 1 minute. Oh, my bad. So, so this is the location where I'm having my exported permissions, and here I need to restore. Sometimes, okay, okay. Successful proceed 2 files failed 0. Okay, let's see if we are getting any error again. Okay. Okay, now we are good. You can see DFS replication service successfully contacted domain controller IND to access the configuration information. So In a short summary, you can see we just change the okay register. It was changed to false, but it should be kept false, and this option should be kept one. And you are going to change two path, root path and staging path. And you are going to set the permission for your new SYSVOL folder because when we move, it lost the permissions. You can use the robo copy if you want to, or otherwise just copy and paste that we did by using this. So use this PowerShell CMD let to copy the SYSVOL contents. Otherwise, it lose something, and you can simply export the import permissions of your SYSVOL folder. So this was your new location where you are having a SYSVOL folder. Here you gave one path where you are going to export your permissions. This is the new location of your SYSVOL folder, and this is the same where you kept your permission or exported your NTFS permissions, right? And if you open, we can access the group policy management console or we can create new policies as well. But I would say, or I do not recommend this option to replace the location of your sysvol folder by using this way because I tried multiple ways and every time I was getting different types of error. So I took long time for me to complete this small setup. So I don't think it is good way to move the sysvol folder from this location to current location to any other location. And I did not find any Microsoft article for moving SYSVOL folder from existing location to any other location when SYSVOL is using DFSR. For FRS, it is having one document, but DFSR, it is not having or I did not find. So I do not recommend this way to anyone. In the production itself, you can play in your test environment if you want to. Otherwise, you can use a simple way. You just try to increase the space of your C drive with a standard procedure. For physical computer, we are not having any other option, but we have some third-party tools which can take the space from your another drive and put it to the C drive. I have used that in the past. Or if you're using your workstations, or sorry, server managed by ESXi or installing ESXi host, VMware ESXi host, you can use that as well. You can increase the space. We are having that good option to increase the space of any drive. Or if your computers are running or servers are running on the cloud, where you can also increase the space of your drive. So go for simple steps, and if you are not able to do so, you can just promote one more another domain controller as a addition domain controller or child domain controller with the enough free space or desired location of your sysvol folder, because you know while you are promoting as a server as a domain controller, you are having option to choose default C drive or any other drive that you want to. And later on, if everything is working fine, there is no replication issue, DC drive is not giving any error, then you should demote your first domain controller after performing all the necessary steps like moving FSM roles configuring uh, time service in the proper manner, and you can also keep the same name later or IP as well, because it is also possible to change the name of your domain controller and IP as well. So I would recommend to go with the first option, increase the drive space, or promote any other domain controller as a child domain controller with the necessary steps, and remove the second one so that you can move your SYSVOL content to any other drive instead of simple moving SYSVOL folder from C drive to E drive or D drive. So that's all for this video. If you learned something new, kindly like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.